Now there's another piece of the puzzle, and we'll go to the next slide here. As we kind of iterated on this with people and we're thinking through it and trying to understand who we are as a church and where we want to go as a church, we grappled with and wrestled with hearing and responding, but there's also some central pieces that are vital to this as well. And you'll see in this little triangle image the invitation and the arrows pointing outward, and then the word everyone down below. This is another thing that you see in Scripture all the time. Think of Luke 14. Jesus tells this parable in Luke 14 where a wealthy man offers a feast. And he says to his servants, go and invite people. And a bunch of people do not show up. And he says, fine, go out into the streets, in the alleys, in the town. Bring the poor and the crippled and the blind and the lame. And the servant goes and does that. And he says, there's still more room. And so the master says, go to the roads, the countryside, and compel them to come in. Invite them to come in so that my house is full. I tell you, no one, this is the final verse of 14, verse 24. It says, I tell you, we'll skip that part. There's a banquet that God is throwing, and he's inviting people to it. And we want to be a church that can get that done. So invitation for everybody, and I'll invite Don to speak a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so not only do disciples hear from God, not only do disciples respond to God, but we also firmly believe that the third facet of being a disciple of Jesus is that disciples invite others. And this is based on three core beliefs that we have, that we believe God himself is actively seeking after people. We believe that God calls his disciples explicitly to invite others, as we hear in the parable. And we believe, thirdly, that every invitation, every act of inviting is actually an act of love. So imagine what it would be like, what it would look like, if everyone at Bonham was inviting others.
Yeah, again, imagine a church. We just have this vision for the church that is a church that is relentlessly drawing people into the story of God, where every member is regularly invited and equipped to invite others and also take their very next step of faith. What's that next step of faith that Jesus is calling us into? What are you being invited into? Imagine a church where warmth and invitation to others is just a regular occurrence in the everyday.
Yeah, so this is the discipleship model. Disciples hear from God, disciples respond to God, disciples invite others, and then fourthly and finally, disciples welcome everyone. It is a wide invitation, and that we embrace everyone, no matter their age or stage of life, that we are welcoming to everyone. This is based on three beliefs that we have. We believe that God's kingdom is for everyone. We believe that multi-generational is beautiful. The scripture calls us the family of God, which is a multi-generational thing. And we believe that God has something for everyone in a congregation, everyone around us. God has a next step for them. So imagine what that would look like if we as disciples of Jesus, if all of us were welcoming everyone.
Yeah, again, just journey with us in your mind of what a church would look like. Imagine a church that is for those who are hurting and those who are healing. Imagine a church that's for the grandmother praying for her grandchild and for the new father holding his baby. Imagine it's for the college student that is hostile to Jesus. Yes, even hostile. Imagine it's for the overworked wife who doesn't see the point in church on Sunday. Imagine a church where God, like I said, is throwing a party for everybody and everybody is invited. Imagine the rooms in this church being filled with the people that God has in mind for that task.